Hello, people. Welcome back. Chess with Pawns. Today is, if you watch Seinfeld, it's Kramer in the background. Today is Festivus. So, Festivus for the rest of us, if you guys understand that. If not, forget about it. Otherwise, another episode to Path to 1000 ELO on Rapid Chess 10-minute games. I wanted to start off by sharing a few games that I've had in the past couple days. The reason I want to show you is because in the comments, you guys were giving me tips, suggestions to simplify. You guys were telling me to take on certain squares, and so I listened. So we'll start here to analyze these quickly, but this particular game, my opponent was a 944, I was a 946, and I got an 86% accuracy rating on this. So we'll go through this because I'm kind of excited to show you. But played the London. So this is the game where you guys said you guys need to take. You need to take on the E5 square when they move their pawn like that. Never really played this line with the London. And then I just continued to set up for the London. In the comments, you talked about maybe that the queen side would be weak or they wouldn't be able to use it as much, which was great. You know, I made some mistake moves here and there. They castled, and then I found this check. Remember, checks, captures, attacks. I try to always think about that. Um, and then they just blundered the checkmate. They thought they saw my rook right there. It looked like free candy to them. And then they forgot that their king is on their back rank. They had nowhere to go and nowhere to stop this checkmate. And so it was a pretty quick game. I was pretty proud of myself. I was happy that I learned from you guys on that, to really open up the king side and to take on that E5 square when they move the pawn up. So that's that game, 86% rating on that. And then we have another comment was to simplify the position. And so I heard you, and then I really started working on that. So I played the modern defense, is what they call it. I thought it was the King's Indian, but since I brought the knight to c6, I guess it's the modern defense. Could be wrong. Anyway, I traded bishop for a knight, putting my opponent in check. I'm having to double up these two pawns, which I thought was good at the moment. You can see down here on the analyze scale that we're pretty even through most of the game. So I said I'm just going to simplify this, keep simplifying the best I can to make the game easier. We're pretty even. Then I started losing here. That was the best move. I had a lot of best moves in this game. Like I said, this is the game I got 96% accuracy, which I thought was just awesome for me. My opponent did well too. Then they blundered. And then I found it. I found the move because of that blunder. Like I said, the opponent blunders, you just got to find it. They brought their bishop down. And then I wanted to simplify. And so I switched out queens. At this point, I was up material by one. I was up a pawn. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to do this. And now they thought they had me, but now I'm up four, which was great. Got my rook into the game to kind of own the center files. And then I simplified again. And then my opponent, he actually messaged me. He's like, hey, nice job playing that, which I thought was great. He saw the checkmate was coming eventually. So thanks for the advice, guys, and those comments. So keep it coming. If you're new at chess and you're watching this, the biggest thing is, to simplify the position the best you can. So, but that's the good news. So my rating right now is a 946. So we're working our way up. Hopefully we'll play this game here, and hopefully we have some more good news. So let's start our game and see. Okay, we're playing the London. So we are white. So we'll do our d4. Knight comes down to f6. Bishop up. Okay, so it looks like they're going to play the King's Indian as I know it. Or the computer might call it the modern defense. I gotta look into that because I know the King's Indian is it hurts the London a lot. to London, obviously we got to take care of this e5 square. So we have a lot of pressure on this e5 square right now because that's what we need in this system for this to work. But then they add pressure too right here. So we just got to watch out for that. But we're going to continue our setup. We're going to really work on the center, controlling that the best we can, the e5 square. And then when we get to the mid game here, I'm really going to try to simplify the position to make it easier, because they're going to castle on the king side. So I need to figure out how to break through this wall, and that's the hardest part about the King's Indian. And that's why they do it. So here you go, typical setup. Now I'm not sure if I should castle on the queen side here or the king side here, because I want to use these pawns to attack his pawn structure up here, which will open up my king if I move these up. Or the queen side, which will save my king, or I think I can just leave the king in the middle. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I've seen different lines as I learn this to do that. So enough talking, I got to stay on top of my time, don't forget that. So he wants to do a trade, so he'll probably open up this queen. I noticed this happens to me, so I take and then he takes and then my bishop is open, but I don't want to break my pawn structure, so I'm going to allow him to take. I need to move this bishop out without allowing my bishop to get trapped, so I got to watch out for that. I do want to simplify here, but I want him to do it for me. There we go. My king is open, and he's going to move. Yeah. Okay, and that's fine, because what we're going to do here. Ooh, man. I don't want to have to move my king. But if I block here with the horse, that doesn't help. And if I block here with the horse, he's going to take with that horse. Then I'm going to take with the bishop, and then my bishop's going to be 1. So I got to watch out for that. I think the only move here, honestly, maybe bishop down. There we go. Now we're thinking, now we're looking. Now my next move, I'm going to castle my king, because I need, my pawn structure is broke. And I need to make sure that my king is staying safe. So opponent's a 940. Not that that matters. All right, castle. And we just gotta wait for the blunder. We're gonna move that rook over, and I gotta make sure I don't blunder too, obviously. I think I'm going to put my bishop here to put pressure on this rook, because if he wants to simplify, which is fine, we can get to that end game. If I move my bishop here, he's going to take my rook, I take my queen, and then I can take back with my knight. Maybe I don't want to do that right now. Let's see if I have another plan I can do. Okay, so he moved his knight in the way. I'm going to simplify, take that. He's probably trying to do something dirty with that knight. I'm going to pin. That's not going to matter, because he's going to want to... Honestly, I don't hate my position right now. If I move here, yeah, and he takes, then I can still save. It's just... Otherwise, I'm going to simplify that. I'm going to get that rook out of here. Okay, so he doesn't want to do it either. He's also scared. So, let's see what we got here. I got 7 minutes and 36 seconds. Checks, captures, attacks. So I have a capture here. I have a capture here. He wants to pin that. I could just open this up, but now I'm just making this more complicated. So if I take here, he's going to take back with the queen. We all know this. And then I can maybe bring this bishop back down to put pressure on the queen. Let's do it. Simplify. I want to push this bishop out too. Okay. So he did it. Now I can take this knight, but the position's kind of open. So I kind of want to save my bishop now, because I believe right now in my head, not that I'm right or wrong, I believe that the bishop is stronger in this scenario. So he has 2. I have 2. Oops. I say we move. Push the queen out. Like if he wants to trade that bishop for that rook and that knight, that's fine. I'll take with the queen. And then I'll just make him trade queens. Because then I'm up a bishop against a knight. With decent he might have a stronger pawn structure, but I see more board with this bishop. So 946, so we're pretty even, me and my opponent. Okay, he didn't want to do it. Okay, but I'm losing on time, so I gotta make sure I move a little faster here. I think I want to get my knight into the game. If I move my knight, he's going to take. So I can do this. Might put queen. Nope, don't do that. I like my bishop where it's at right now. Oops. I do like this. Kind of like this. I can put my bishop in a stronger square potentially. I can start moving these pawns up. Oh, he wants to trade. Okay. So it's all about how I take this. So if I take here, you might want to trade the queen, just do it. Okay, he didn't want to do that. Okay, now that gives me, he wants to take that pawn. I can protect it for now. Now if he moves his knight, I'm taking that pawn. So that knight's kind of pinned. He moves that pawn, he's in trouble. Okay, so he can't take nothing. So I'm not sure, he might know something I don't, but my bishop is guarding that rook. So we're in good shape there. I want to start moving my pawns up. So I think that's the time of the game to start doing this. I try to get my bishop a little bit more active, maybe right here, to allow this pawn to come up. I don't know if they see the bishop or not. Hopefully they do. Okay, so he moved his knight to a5, which I can't take here. What I can do, no, I don't want to mess with any of this. So he's trying to come here, maybe, to have me take his knight. What I'll do is put more power there. Well, no, because if I take his knight, then my rook is open, and we don't want that. So I want that queen to be here too, so I can take this. Okay, I'm gonna move bishop up. I'm not afraid if he moves his knight here. Yeah, he's trying to trick me. So if I move this, he takes my rook. He moves here, I could just take it with the bishop. If he moves there, I can take with the bishop. So, but he can now take my pawn, unless I do this. Then that pawn's now protected again. So I think that was a mistake on my opponent's part. I'm now +1. Depending on where he goes, but aside from there, we got 4 minutes left on the clock. You gotta be careful about moving my queen. Okay. Now if he comes down, he's gonna put me in check, but then I could take. I think now, no. I might just have to sacrifice this pawn eventually. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Let's see. He's trying to come down, but I want to... If I do that, he's taking my rook anyway. If I take his pawn here, then I got pressure on his knight. And he'll probably just take with his knight, which I don't mind, I guess. Okay, let's just do this. I think he's going to come down here and take my pawn. Which I don't see an issue with that. Other than my rook is now hanging, and that's fine. And so is my bishop. So what I need to do is put pressure on his queen somehow. No, my rook's not hanging. It's fine. But my bishop is. So I need to move this to a better spot. So I go here. If I go here, he's going to come up here, and then my bishop's going to be hanging. Okay, I gotta think this through. I can put pressure on his... I need this bishop here to protect my rook. I'm going here. See what he got. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I can't lose on time. Good game so far. That's the thing about chess, like it makes you think. I feel like I'm making pretty good moves. We'll see after the game when we analyze it. But it feels pretty good. I can take this pawn. I can take this pawn. Gotta figure out how to get in here. Now, if he moves his knight somewhere. Okay. So he really wants that bishop to go away. I do have a check. So if I go here, like this, that's a check. Okay, I like this. This is going to work out. Okay, now I take here. Queen's in trouble. He might take this pawn, that's fine. Remember my rook up next. I don't even know if I worry about this bishop, really. I mean, I can move my bishop here and pin this bishop, and then we're going to have a checkmate too. If he takes that pawn, it's going to take that away. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. I mean, if you guys are watching this, like, I mean, you see us, like, 940, and maybe some of you guys watching are just bigger. I mean, have a higher rating. But, I mean, this is not easy. Now I can block here, but then my bishop is open. I feel like this 940 is playing very well. Put in the comments if you disagree, if you made it this far. And those who did make it this far, thank you. It's nice, talk it out. It's nice to get advice from y'all that are watching. Okay, so I feel like he's going for maybe a checkmate, but I think I have one for myself. If I go here, no. It's the bishop. This is it. You can't move because the bishop is pinned to the king. And then if I put my queen here, that's checkmate. So he can move his castle up. He's still pinned though. I think he sees it. He's trying to figure it out. He might have to move a pawn down. Help with his situation, but his situation, if I could pull this out, I'm +5. I'm just worried about time. We can make this happen. I'm getting my queen over here anyway somehow to help with this scenario, because my king is definitely not safe. But I think he has to move this pawn up to give himself room to breathe. But I don't even know if that's going to be enough for him. So I'm going to move his pawn here. Checkmate. If I put him in check, he has to go there. And I got to find another way to check him. I got the bishop, which opens up things. Check, 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 take. Simplify the board. He's thinking a lot now too. He is now, I'm winning on time. I think he's really trying to figure this out. I mean, he can take with the bishop too, which might be good for him. Okay, so he moved that. So we're gonna put him in check. Like this. Okay. And then that does not help me. I can go here, check. And then I'm gonna move my bishop. Bishop stays. This comes, does not work. Okay, where is it at? Now if I take here, he's still in a scenario where he's in trouble. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so there it is. Oh, there we go. Checkmate. We did it. So yeah, I mean, we'll go in here, we'll analyze this together. Let's see what we did here. So 75 accuracy. So no blunders. You guys can't see this, but here, let me move this so you can see better. It's saying no blunders for me. I had 4 misses though. 2 great moves. I played like a 1300. My opponent had a 66% rating. So start review. Okay, the London system, they played the Indian game. So this is the Indian defense. I guess when they move their pawn down to d6, that's an Indian defense. Okay, I just kept developing and playing to London like I know it. Okay, I wanted to simplify there. That was, I made a better move here. I would have made a bad move. That was the best move in this position, it says. Okay, so like I said, we were in this area. I was actually winning by 2.7 here. This was a mistake. I was able to win material through a fork, so it's my pawn. I missed that. Right? Yeah, because they can't move, they can't take, so I missed that. Okay, we kept on going. That was the best move by my opponent. Good. Okay, that was a mistake by my opponent. So, get a chance to win the knight. I didn't find it fully, but it wasn't a bad move. So, I missed a fork. So, go back. So, the best move was to move here to fork this pawn and that. But then they would have took my... No, they wouldn't. Okay. That was a great move by my opponent. I'm still winning at this point. Remember what I said? Man, I feel like I'm winning. Because that was a blunder. Okay, there was the check. That was a mistake. I thought this was a great move, but it was a mistake. So I said move my bishop here. Oh, because so I would have the same thing. So if I would have moved here, then this still would have been pinned. And it couldn't take my bishop. So I missed that. And then I could have took for a checkmate. Okay, check, good job. That was a blunder. So this says force a vengeful checkmate. That was great, so that was part of the plan. Okay, that was the next best move. To the next best move. All right, that was wrong. Oh, so I should have moved this rook up. That's what it was. That would have been mate in 2, because that would have been check. And then they would have blocked, and then I would have been checkmate. So I had it the whole time. I just missed it. It's fine. You know, we made that move, which kind of delayed the checkmate. But there it was. So, pretty good game. I mean, I'm up to 954 on my rating. Thank you all for the tips. If you made it this far, continue watching, subscribe, and then we will see you next time. Thank you.